Hello two dwellers and welcome. I'm the Arcadean and today we are going to be farming MOKUBA at level 40. This deck has been stitched together from multiple online sources, so I'll link to those sources as well as some other really good resources down in the description box below. Be sure to check those out. Very, very handy. Despite that, the deck has actually proven to be flawless for me so far, never giving me less than 8,000 and generally between 8 to 9,000. So hopefully it'll work just as well for you guys. Let's find out. Roll intro. Okay, let's get started. First of all, as you'll see from the skill name up at the top, we're running Elements Unite, so this means that we're running the Paradox Brothers. This is because by bringing out the Gate Guardian at the very beginning and setting it to defense mode, we can ensure that MOKUBA won't bring out his big hitter because it doesn't have the attack value necessary to get through the Gate Guardian's defenses. This means that we are pretty much safe to do all the setup that we want. Next up we have 3 Thunder Dragons. This is partially for milling the deck, getting down to the bottom of it sooner, as well as bringing out the twin-headed Thunder Dragon by the end so that we can help to boost up the Gravekeeper Vassal's attack. Speaking of which, Gravekeeper's Vassal. Very useful card paired up with the Union attack. Now, if you haven't seen this before, the trick to Union attack is that you can take the attack value of every single creature on your side of the field that's in face-up attack position, and you can add it to one single creature. Now, the downside to this is that you can't inflict battle damage directly to your enemy. However, the Gravekeeper's Vassal is exempt from this because, as you can see from its description, it doesn't deal battle damage, it deals effect damage, which not only allows us to directly attack or to deal damage directly to the enemy hero, but also gives us extra points at the end for dealing only effect damage. Okay, next up we have 3 Crystal Seers. These are here much the same as the Thunder Dragons to help us mill through our deck nice and quick. And then we have 2 Shard of Greeds, once again for milling through. Now we also have a Jar of Greed down the bottom to do the same thing. If you don't have Shards of Greeds, use Jar of Greeds instead. And if you have 3 shards, use those. It's all good. Next up, Polymerization. That's to make sure that we can get the twin-headed Thunder Dragon out at the very end. And Goblin's Secret Remedy, which we use in conjunction with the Hieroglyph Lithograph. Now, the idea here is that when you use Elements Unite as a skill, you start with only 500 HP. So the Goblin's Secret Remedy bumps you up to 1100 HP, and the Hieroglyph Lithograph will drop you back down again to exactly 100 hit points. And at 100 hit points, if you finish the match with 100 hit points, you will get a lot more points at the end, which is what we're here for. Next up we have Secret Pass to the Treasures that will allow the Gravekeeper's Vassal to deal damage directly to our opponent regardless of how many creatures they have on the field. And we have Trap Jammer as well for the final turn because MOKUBA at level 40 runs Negate Attack. So we need to have the Trap Jammer out onto the field by the second to last turn so that we can ensure that we can just cancel that Negate Attack and our Gravekeeper's Vassal will hit through. Now we have 2 of these, even though technically you only need 1, because you need to place this on at least the second to last turn. So if you're only running 1 Trap Jammer and it's at the bottom of your deck, then you're out of luck. You're going to fire the Vassal right into the Negate Attack. It's not going to work and you're going to lose on the following turn because you're going to deck out. So you need to have at least, well, you need to have 2 of them, not the least, just exactly 2 of them, to ensure that there's no way to bottom deck the Trap Jammer. And then finally we have Spell Reclamation. This is here in order to get the Union attack back into our hands so that we can use it a second time. The Gate Guardian plus a twin-headed Thunder Dragon plus the Gravekeeper Vassal's attack combined is not enough to hit 9,999, which is what you need to hit in order to get the 3,000 extra points. So we need to use Union attack twice to double up the attack value that the Gravekeeper Vassal is going to be getting. If you have 2 Union attacks, use 2 Union attacks. If not, Spell Reclamation works perfectly well. Again, the downside to running Spell Reclamation over 2 Union attacks is that there is a possibility that you will bottom deck the Spell Reclamation, which would be unfortunate, but even if that happens, you will still be dealing over 5,000 attack damage to your opponent, which will kill MOKUBA, gives you the victory, and you do still get a lot more points for dealing over 5,000 attacks, so it's still okay, it's just not ideal. If you don't have any Union attacks whatsoever, then you can switch Union attack and Gravekeeper's Vassal out for Gift of the Martyr and Piranha Army. If you do that, switch out the Thunder Dragons for the Kangaroo, the Koala, the Master of Oz, basically a composite. Master of Oz with a Gift of the Martyr, with a Piranha Army, with the Secret Pass to the Treasure and so on and so forth. The Piranha Army doubles up its attack value. You will still be able to get over 999,000. 9,999, that's the right one. 9,999 that way. The downside is that you won't be getting the extra points for the effect damage that the Gravekeeper's Vassal gives you. So, that's the deck, that's the thinking behind it, but where's the practical side, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because we're about to jump right in. Let's go. Okay, here we go. MOKUBA, level 40. My very own dragon deck. So, MOKUBA versus Paradox Brothers. And we go second, which works out just fine. Okay, so there's the Elements Unite. As you can see, it drops the 3 gate creatures out onto the field and drops us down to 500 HP and gives us a Gate Guardian right into our hands. I've never seen this dragon before. Irrelevant. Okay, so skip, and we draw, and it's Crystal Seer. That's okay, no big deal. We will summon out the Gate Guardian. Sacrifice, and put it into defense position. Always put these things into defense position. We don't want to deal any damage, we want the effect only point at the end, so that's what we'll do. And we'll drop the Crystal Seer to start milling through our deck. MOKUBA's turn, and because we have the Gate Guardian out onto the field already with a 3,400 defense, there's nothing he can do even if he summons his biggest creature. We get a Union attack, that's pointless, he chooses not to attack, no big deal, he will be 4 long. Probably on this next summon. Yeah, there he goes. He's summoning a creature in attack position, attacks into the Crystal Seer, she flips over, and we get to choose which card we want to pull. So, the Thunder Dragon is the best choice here, because again, it allows us to very quickly mill through our deck. By activating the Thunder Dragon's effect, we can get 2 of them right into our hand. And we got Spell Reclamation as well, which is fantastic. So it didn't bottom deck, and that's the only card we needed to get into our hand before we pulled the last one. So we throw one of the Thunder Dragons into the grave, and we pull 2 more out of our deck, which means that we're down at 14 cards, which is nice, just quickly running through the cards as fast as possible. MOKUBA sets his creatures into defense position, and that's pretty much where they'll stay for the rest of the match. We draw Shard of Greed, which is perfect, we'll activate that. And then turn after next, we can activate it once again and get 2 more cards out of our deck. MOKUBA's turn, he'll just start doing nothing at this point because there's nothing he can do. We'll pull another Goblin's, we'll pull a Goblin Secret Remedy, not another one, that was the choice from the last one, and we will activate it. Even though we don't have a Hieroglyph Lithograph, we know that we're going to get one before the end, so might as well just use this now. Keep our hand size fairly small. And we pulled a Trap Jammer, which is absolutely fine. We'll activate the Shard of Greed, pull 2 cards into our hand, and we get another Shard of Greed from it, so that's nice too. We'll activate that, place it out onto the field, and we will ignore the other Goblin's Secret Remedy. We do not want to use a second one. We want to just use 1 plus the Hieroglyph Lithograph. Out comes another Crystal Seer. We'll use that to mill our deck a little bit more, place it out onto the field, and end our turn. MOKUBA's turn, he sets a card, he ends his turn, no big deal, and we will pull, and it's a second Trap Jammer, and our Shard of Greed is ready, so we'll activate it, and at this point we have too many cards in our hand, although we did just pull the Hieroglyph Lithograph. I hate when they're stuck in a corner like this, they won't activate, there we go, they just won't activate properly. So we activate that. We get dropped down to 100 HP, bingo bango, and our hand size expands up to 7, which is also quite nice, means we need to discard less. We'll also put the spell reclamation out onto the field, because why not? It drops our hand size a little bit more. It means we don't need to discard anything just yet. MOKUBA's turn, he tributes into his Luster Dragon, and hammers it into the Crystal Seer, who activates and allows us to pull another card. At this point it doesn't really matter what we go for, but we might as well go for this Jar of Greed and set it on our side of the field on our turn. Then we draw another card, Secret Passage to the Treasure, good to have it ready, and we drop the Jar of Greed, and let's drop the Trap Jammer as well, why not? We'll just get everything set up, because we're about to use up the Jar of Greed on MOKUBA's turn anyway. You only need to ensure that you keep one space free if you already have the Spell Reclamation and the Trap Jammer out onto the field. So we pull another Crystal Seer, no big deal. We pull the Gravekeeper's Vassal. No, we do not want to drop the Crystal Seer at the moment, because if she pulls another card for us, then we basically lose on her next turn, because we'll have nothing to pull from our deck. And this is our last turn, so we draw, it's the Hieroglyph Lithograph, we don't care. Okay, so now we start the final sequence. We play the Gravekeeper's Vassal out onto the field, and we put the Gate Guardian into face-up attack position. We use the Polymerization to bring out our twin-headed Thunder Dragon. Do not activate the Spell Reclamation on that one, that would be problematic. So the twin-headed Thunder Dragon comes out, and that's all of the creatures we need out onto the field now. Next up, we're going to run Secret Passage to the Treasure. This part, none of this really matters what order you do this in. Just make sure it all gets done before you do the attack phase. And finally, we will use the Union Attack. We target the Gravekeeper's Vassal, and this time we do use Spell Reclamation, and we will discard one of the 2 useless cards from our hand. So let's get rid of the Hieroglyph Lithograph. Away it goes, and the Union Attack comes right back into our hands. We fire that off once again targeting the Gravekeeper's Vassal, and this means we'll get a double up attack. And then we set it to battle. The Union Attack activates the first time, and the second time takes us up to 13,000. We do a direct attack, he will activate his Negate Attack, there it is, he always has that there. And we activate our Trap Jammer. Negate Attack fails. There we go. Negate Attack fails, and we get through. Massive attack value, instant kill. So you're about to see from the final screen score tally how all of this added up. We have no cards in our hand, we have a comeback victory, we have 100 hit points, we did only effect damage, over 9,999 attacks, so here it is. Comeback victory, LP on the brink, cards on the brink, victory by effect damage only, glossy cards, which is quite important, 9,999 damage, spell, trap, special summon, fusion summon, draw sense win, that's quite nice, and some new cards, so bing, bang, boom. Always try to put as many glossy cards as possible in there, but that's about it. And that was the MOKUBA level 40 farming deck. As you can see, very, very simple to run. Once you've got your initial guardian creature out onto the field, it's basically just a question of cycling through your deck until you can land the finishing blow. So make sure to stock up on those glossies, those prismatics, just throw all those in there. Bear in mind that if you have some glossy and prismatic cards that aren't quite what's in the deck but are close enough, just substitute them in. It's absolutely fine. It's more important that you get the points than that you do everything, flawlessly. So yeah, that's it for this guide video. If you'd like any more farming videos, just let me know down in the doobly-doo below. Until next time, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, smash either one of them as much as you like, or as little as you like, if you want to hurt me deep inside. Whatever you choose, hopefully I will see you guys in the next episode.